Hi Libra, how's it going? I hope you're doing awesome today. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn, and this is going to be a general reading. I've already cleared the energy of the cards, and I asked Spirit 10 questions, actually 11. I pulled a bonus message, a bonus card at the end. But I've asked Spirit 10 questions, and these are the cards that came out. These are the answers to the 10 questions that I asked Spirit. So I'll go through them individually with you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you do get any insight or guidance, I would love to know. So the first question I asked Spirit was, what energy is Libra currently bringing into this situation that they may not fully recognize? So again, what energy are you currently bringing into this situation that you may not fully recognize? And you got the 10 of Pentacles. So this card points to a very grounded, legacy-oriented, and long-term energy. Even if you don't consciously realize it, you're bringing a few things, but the first thing is long-term stability and energy. You are oriented toward what lasts, like commitment, structure, security, and building something that has real staying power. The second thing you're bringing is an influence of legacy and responsibility. So this can relate to family patterns, shared resources, long-term relationships, or decisions that affect more than just the present moment. And then you're bringing a desire for real outcomes, not temporary situations or surface level connections. This energy wants something established and meaningful and enduring. And you're also bringing generational or karmic weight. In some readings, the 10 of Pentacles can suggest inherited beliefs about relationships or money or success influencing how you show up without you fully noticing. Okay? And then the last one is the energy. Another energy that you're bringing to the current situation is stability. Stability you may be underestimating. You might not realize that you're actually bringing a stabilizing, grounding presence to the situation, even if you feel uncertain internally. So basically, the energy you're bringing into this situation is one of long-term vision and stability. Even if you don't fully recognize it, you're showing up with the desire to build something real, something that can last, grow, and stand the test of time. This isn't temporary energy, it's legacy energy. So Spirit is highlighting that you're thinking in terms of future security, even if your conscious mind is focused on present concerns. And then the second question I asked Spirit was, what lesson is trying to teach Libra right now? And you got the Three of Cups reversed. So what lesson is trying to teach? What lesson is trying to teach you right now? So this card reversed points to a lesson around social dynamics, emotional boundaries, and where energy is being invested in relationships or community. So you're being taught that not all connections are equally supportive. Some friendships or groups or outside influences may not be as aligned or loyal or emotionally healthy as they appear to be. You're being taught emotional overextension in social situations. You may be giving energy to too many people or prioritizing harmony in a group setting at the expense of your own emotional needs. You're learning discernment in friendships and support systems. This card often asks, who is genuinely in your corner and who is just present for convenience or surface level connection? And then this card, you may be learning that maintaining good vibes isn't worth suppressing truth or ignoring discomfort. You're releasing people-pleasing energy in social dynamics. This energy can sometimes point to overindulgence or gossip or avoidance through social activity instead of addressing deeper emotional realities. It's celebration versus distraction. So the lesson Spirit is teaching you right now is discernment in your emotional connections. Not everyone in your circle is meant to go with you into your next chapter. Some of you may be realizing where energy has been scattered or overextended or not fully reciprocated. Spirit is asking you to become more selective about where your emotional energy goes and to stop prioritizing external harmony over internal truth. And with the Ten of Pentacles at the beginning, the Ten of Pentacles is long-term stability, legacy, and real foundations. The Three of Cups reversed is unstable or misaligned social or emotional support. So the lesson may be, if you're building something long-term, make sure the people around you actually support that foundation, not just the surface version of it. I'm just going to have some water. Hang on. The third question I asked Spirit, and I got to tell you, Libra, I don't know what's going on with this reading today because I started it. I got like almost halfway into your reading, and then the cards, everything just messed up. I lost my focus. I didn't know I was saying Leo half the time instead of Libra. I had to start all over again. And then I set up my camera, and then it just jumped right off the stand. It's a weird energy right now. But I kept going. We started over. So the third question is, what is Libra holding on to that is preventing their growth? And you got the Two of Pentacles reversed. So what are you holding on to that is preventing your growth? The Two of Pentacles reversed points to imbalance, overwhelm, and difficulty managing competing priorities. So it could be saying that you may be holding on to trying to juggle too much at once. You may be keeping multiple responsibilities or emotions or situations or options in motion when something needs to be set down or simplified. You may be holding on to a fear of choosing wrong. Instead of committing to one direction, you may be staying in a constant state of keeping everything going, which creates instability. You may be holding on to poor energetic balance. This can show work-life imbalance, emotional overwhelm, or spreading yourself too thin for the sake of keeping everything afloat. There may be a resistance to change or dropping responsibilities. Even when something is no longer manageable or aligned, you may still feel obligated to maintain it. Hold on a second. I just have to check something. I don't know if it was a June bug or some kind of weird insect thing was on my screen door. It was buzzing, driving me nuts. And then we have mental and emotional burnout. The Two of Pentacles reversed often shows that the effort to handle everything is actually what's blocking progress. So what Spirit is showing, you're holding on to, what Spirit is showing you're holding on to is the need to manage too many things at once. Some of you are trying to keep every option open, every responsibility handled, and every area of life balanced at the same time, but it's becoming unsustainable. So Spirit is asking you to release the idea that you can or should do everything simultaneously. Growth comes when you simplify or prioritize and allow something to be set down so something more aligned can take its place. So we have building long-term stability, we have filtering social energy, We have overextension and imbalance. So you're being guided to move from external expectations and scattered energy towards stability through I can never say that word, simplification and discernment. The fourth question I asked Spirit is, what should Libra focus on over the next 3 months to align with their highest potential? And you got the King of Cups. So what should you focus on over the next 3 months to align with your highest potential? The King of Cups points directly to emotional mastery, maturity, and calm control over inner and outer emotional worlds. So basically, Spirit is guiding you toward emotional balance under pressure, staying steady even when situations around you are emotionally complex or unpredictable. Spirit is guiding you toward leading with emotional intelligence, not emotional reaction. This is about responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively or being pulled into emotional turbulence. Spirit is guiding you towards having boundaries with compassion. The King of Cups is kind, but not easily swayed or drained. You may need to practice caring, but without overgiving. Spirit is guiding you towards healing emotional patterns. This can involve processing old feelings without letting them control your present decisions. And Spirit is guiding you towards stability in your relationships, choosing connections where emotional maturity is mutual, not one-sided or chaotic. So over the next 3 months, Spirit is asking you to embody the King of Cups. Your highest potential is found in emotional maturity, balance, and calm authority over your inner world. This is not about suppressing your feelings. It's about mastering them. You're being guided to respond with wisdom instead of reaction, and to lead with compassion. To lead with compassion without losing your boundaries or stability. Okay? So again, we have long-term stability and legacy. We have emotional and social discernment. We have overwhelm and an imbalance. And now we have emotional mastery as the solution. So Spirit is essentially saying stability externally starts with stability internally. Okay? Your fifth question is, what hidden influence is affecting this relationship? And you got the Seven of Cups reversed. So what hidden influence is affecting this relationship? The Seven of Cups reversed points to an undercurrent of clarity emerging, or illusions collapsing, or limited options becoming apparent behind the scenes. So as a hidden influence, this can show one or both people may be quietly seeing the situation more clearly than they admit outwardly. So reality is starting to override fantasy. Or maybe what once felt full of possibilities may now feel more defined, more serious, or more constrained in some way. There may be a narrowing of choices. There may be a subconscious push to stop idolizing or overthinking the connection. There may be an avoidance of confusion that's influencing the dynamic. Someone may be recognizing truths they haven't fully voiced yet, especially around compatibility or timing or emotional availability. This could be a hidden disappointment or a sobering realization. Even if nothing has been said, internal decisions or conclusions may already be forming beneath the surface. There may be mental clarity that hasn't been communicated. The hidden influence affecting this relationship is a shift in perception. Illusions are fading, and what was once uncertain or idolized is becoming clearer. Some of you may already be internally recognizing truths about this connection that haven't yet been expressed. Spirit is showing that clarity is developing behind the scenes. Even if the external situation hasn't fully caught up yet. There's an important thread in your spread so far. We have social and emotional misalignment or outside influence issues. We have an imbalance and overwhelm. And then the hidden influence. Clarity is replacing confusion. So this suggests the relationship is moving out of confusion and social noise into a more grounded, realistic understanding of what is actually sustainable. And then the next question I asked Spirit was, what strengths are you underestimating? What strengths is Libra underestimating? And you got the Ten of Swords reversed. This is about resilience, recovery, and rising after mental or emotional overwhelm. So, Libra, you may be underestimating your ability to recover from painful endings. Even when something felt like a complete collapse, you didn't actually stay there. You're already in a rebuilding phase. You're also underestimating how much you've already healed. You may still feel stuck in the aftermath of a situation, but Energetically, you're no longer where you used to be. You're underestimating your mental endurance. You can survive periods of intense stress or overthinking or emotional exhaustion and still keep moving forward. You're underestimating your capacity to let go of what broke you mentally. Reversed, this card shows the worst is behind you, even if you don't fully trust that yet. This is not just survival, it's the moment where things stop getting worse and start improving. This is a turning point energy. So Libra, one of your most underestimated strengths is your resilience. The Ten of Swords reversed shows that even after mental exhaustion, painful realizations, or difficult endings, you don't stay down. You're already in a phase of recovery, even if you don't fully recognize it yet. Spirit is highlighting that what once felt overwhelming is beginning to lose its hold on you. Okay? This card represents, reversed, it represents recovery from mental or emotional burnout. You're moving from overwhelm to clarity, to emotional control, to recovery and rebuilding strength. Your seventh question, I asked Spirit, what is the next best step for Libra in their career or life purpose? And you got the Seven of Wands. So what is the next best step for you with regards to your career or life purpose? And you got the Seven of Wands. So this card is about standing your ground, defending your position, and holding your progress, even when it feels like resistance is coming up. I need a little water, hang on. Must have had too much salt at dinner. So basically, this card is saying, Spirit is guiding you toward protecting what you've already built. Instead of abandoning progress when things get challenging, this card says to hold steady and defend your efforts. You may already be further along in your path than you realize, but you're being asked to own it more firmly. Have confidence in your position. This card can show competition, external opinions, or self-doubt trying to shake your focus. But the key is persistence. This card's about not backing down under pressure. You may need to prioritize what you believe is right for your path rather than adjusting to outside expectations. This card is telling you to choose conviction over people-pleasing. The Seven of Wands is about sustained effort, showing up even when it's uncomfortable or when others question the direction. This card is about proving consistency, not perfection. Your next best step in your career or life purpose is to stand your ground. Spirit is asking you not to abandon your position just because things feel challenging or competitive. You've already made progress, and now is the time to defend it or protect it and stay consistent in it. Not everyone will understand your path, but you're being guided to trust it anyway and continue forward with confidence. Spirit is telling you to hold your ground and don't give up. This kind of feels like a turning point. You're stabilizing internally. And now the lesson is to stay committed externally, even when pressure or doubt shows up. And then the 8th question I ask Spirit is what patterns keep repeating in Libra's life, and how can they break it or transform it? And you got the Strength card, Major Arcana, Leo energy. So what patterns keep repeating in your life, and how can you break? See? I don't know what's happening. I'm going to have to hold it. This is crazy. I don't know why this keeps doing this for this reading. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish it. So, the Strength card points to a cycle around endurance, emotional control, and learning how to handle inner tension without suppressing yourself. So, some repeating patterns for you could be enduring too much quietly. You may repeatedly push through stress or emotional strain or imbalance without fully addressing it in real time. Another repeating pattern could be over managing your emotions. There can be a pattern of holding everything together on the surface while internally dealing with pressure alone. Instead of fully expressing what you want or feel, you may soften, minimize, or restrain yourself to keep peace. You may be taming your own needs. Strength often shows repeated scenarios that require emotional resilience or self-control or tolerance. Maybe you're attracting situations that test your patience. So how to break this or transform it? Spirit is saying, use gentle honesty instead of suppression. Strength isn't about holding everything in. It's about expressing truth calmly and consistently before it builds up. The lesson is not endurance, but knowing when to say this is too much without guilt. Balance softness with boundaries. You may need to release the idea that keeping things calm means not addressing the issues. Stop equating peace with silence. And this card asks you to stand firm without aggression. Just calm, grounded assertiveness. The pattern Spirit is highlighting is your tendency to endure more than you express. Some of you have learned to stay composed, patient, and understanding even when your own needs are being minimized. Strength is not asking you to suppress what you feel. It's asking you to master how you express it. The transformation happens when you stop holding everything inside and begin communicating your truth with calm confidence and self-respect. The Strength card is about mastering your emotion without suppression. You're learning emotional regulation that includes expression, not just endurance or control. The 9th question I ask Spirit is, what does Libra need to know about the path they are currently considering? And you got the Temperance card. Okay. So, the Temperance card is a strong confirmation of divine timing, balance, integration, and slow but meaningful alignment. So, what you need to know, Libra, is this path is about gradual alignment, not instant results. Temperance shows that things are still mixing, adjusting, and finding their right proportion. Nothing is meant to unfold all at once. You may feel like progress is slow, but Spirit is emphasizing that the pacing is intentional and protective. Patience is a requirement, not a delay. This path likely requires you to avoid swinging between overgiving and withdrawal, emotion and logic, or action and hesitation. The lesson is integration. Balance between extremes is key. Temperance often shows a process of emotional, mental, or situational healing that is still in progress. Not yet complete, but actively working. Healing and refinement are happening. Even if it doesn't feel fully clear yet, there's a sense of quiet orchestration and alignment taking place. Things are being guided behind the scenes. What Spirit wants you to know about your path that you are considering is that it is unfolding in divine timing. This is not a rushed or forced process. It's one of balance, healing, and careful integration. You're being asked to trust the timing, trust the blending of experiences, and allow things to come together naturally. What feels uncertain right now is actually the process of being aligned behind the scenes. This is about harmony, healing, and integration. This is a very clear, settling energy. You're moving from overwhelm and emotional intensity into balance, steadiness, and long-term alignment. And then the 10th question, I asked Spirit, what message does Libra's future self most want them to hear today? You got the 10 of Wands. So again, what does your future self most want you to hear today? The 10 of Wands is a very direct message about burden, over responsibility, and carrying too much alone for too long. Your future self is pointing out that the load you're carrying is heavier than it needs to be. You're doing too much by yourself. There's a reminder that effort is valuable, but overextension is not sustainable. You don't have to earn rest through exhaustion. Not everything you're holding is actually yours to carry anymore. Some responsibilities, expectations, or emotional weight needs to be put down. Okay? Something needs to be released or delegated. The 10 of Wands often shows being near a goal, but struggling under pressure that could slow or block the completion. But you're closer to success than you realize, but burnout is the risk. Your future self is basically saying this level of pressure is not your new baseline, it's a signal for change. It's telling you to, Spirit is telling you to stop normalizing overwhelm. Your future self wants you to know that you're carrying too much alone. Some of you have been pushing through responsibility, pressure, or emotional weight without recognizing how heavy it has become. You are closer to relief and completion than you think, but you're being asked to release what is unnecessary before it turns into burnout. You were never meant to carry everything by yourself. Okay? This is basically a warning from your future self saying don't overcarry the journey. So basically, the big picture of your reading, the big picture message of the entire reading is that you're learning to release overwhelm. You're learning to build emotional balance. You're learning to stand your ground. You're learning to move with patience and healing, but not to overburden yourself in the process. Your future self is essentially saying you're building something meaningful. Don't destroy your energy trying to prove you can carry it all alone. And then I asked Spirit, if Libra only takes one thing from this reading, what do you want them to take? One, and you got the Four of Cups. Okay. So, if the message condenses into one takeaway from the entire reading, this card is about emotional awareness, disengagement from what's draining, and not missing what is being offered right in front of you. This card can show a tendency to become numb or withdrawn or dissatisfied even when opportunities for peace, connection, or change are present. Basically, Spirit is saying don't stay emotionally stuck or checked out. You may be so focused on what feels wrong or heavy or unfulfilling that you risk overlooking what is actually being offered to help or support you. Something better may already be available, but it requires your attention. Pause, but don't isolate. Reflection is needed, but withdrawal or emotional shutdown can block clarity and opportunity. After everything in your reading, burdens, balance, strength, patience, this card is saying, don't let exhaustion turn into disconnection from life itself. Recalibrate your emotional focus. So if you take one message from this entire reading, it's this. Don't miss what is being offered to you because you are emotionally overwhelmed or distracted or focused on what isn't working. Spirit is showing that there are opportunities for emotional renewal or support or clarity already present, but they require you to be present enough to see them. Not everything you're looking for is far away. Some of it is already here. The Ten of Wands is saying you're overwhelmed. Temperance and Strength say you're learning balance and endurance. King of Cups is about emotional mastery. And the Four of Cups is saying don't let emotional fatigue turn into disconnection. You're being guided to move from overwhelm, balance, to strength, to emotional mastery, to renewed awareness. Don't shut down emotionally just because life has felt heavy. Stay open enough to receive what is still trying to come in for you. Oh, there's a train. There's a sign for us. Don't shut down emotionally just because life has felt heavy. Stay open enough to receive what is still trying to come in for you. There you go. There's your confirmation from the train. There you go, Libra. Thank you so much for letting me channel all these messages for you today. I'm sorry about all this craziness. I don't know, but I persevered. I wanted to get the messages out. For some reason, I was trying to, there was some resistance there, but I wouldn't let it stop me. I wanted you to get these messages. So I hope they give you some insider guidance. Take good care, and I will see you next time. Bye.